Welcome back, y'all. Lost Boys Cypher Circle is back in session. Y'all already know what it is. This is home of all things artistic. You got a song or a poem or a rap you wrote. This is the place to come get it heard. You got some artwork. Come show it to us. You want to come tell some jokes. You want to just open the floor for the discussion and have a debate. Let's do it, man. Just email me at lostboy420x. That's lostboy420x@gmail.com or PM me on Facebook at Dylan Lawler. But y'all already know what it is. Let's just get it started. We're going to do the same thing we did last week, just like 8 Mile, just like on the block with your homies. We're going to form up in a circle and take turns spitting. And I got some killer talent coming out tonight. Now, this first artist, she goes by the name Leanna K. Dawn. She's an upcoming artist. I found her on one of the Facebook poetry societies that I'm on. And I've only heard a little bit of her stuff, but I'm anxious to hear more. So let's get her right up here, man.
Angels come, angels go. Why they come, we don't know. To bring us happiness, joy, and sorrow. Some come fast, some come slow. Through the rain, the sleet, and snow. So many angels in this world. So many angels we adore. Angels come and angels go.
What's up? How you doing?
What's up? Thanks, Dylan. How are you?
Yeah, it's good. It's
All
good
right.
to have you on.
Thank you.
Start by telling us a little bit about that snippet we just heard.
Well, that one that we just heard, I wrote it whenever I was 13 years old, man. My grandpa, he was dying in the hospital, and it was my last time I could say anything to him, so that's how I expressed myself, was writing that poem for him. So, and he got to hear it before he died, so, you know,
I like that.
it means a lot. It means a lot.
It's a lot of emotion. It means a lot to you, but it's short and sweet, and it like gets right to the point. I like that.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, what got you started writing?
Oh man, I just look, my Aunt Manda, she's always been a big writer and a big artist. You know, she could draw anything and everything. She could write and just write. Well, she passed away, and man, ever since then, it's just like it's been one thing after another, and it pops in my head, and I just write it down and spit it out real quick, as fast as I can. You know what I mean? To get it out of my head. That way, I know it's there on paper. That way, I know what's up. You know.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, what's the first poem you're going to be doing for us tonight?
I think I'm gonna do oxygen first.
Oxygen. All right.
Yeah.
I'll drop myself down out of here, and we'll get you right up here.
All right, cool. All right. Like a fish with no water is where I live. Oxygen's my name, my friend. As you settle in and take a hit of something you shall not, I start blazing in with something so fresh and so hot. Chest rising and falling faster and faster, as do the thoughts. You might collapse right here out on the spot. Lightness into darkness by just of a drop has you lifted high above as your body lies here to rot. Oxygen's my name. Have you forgot? You can't live without me. You had me from the start. I will remain hidden in the dark until the end. I'll be with you, my dear, dear friend. That's it.
That was awesome. I like that. I've heard. Trust me when I tell you, I've been on quite a few of these shows. I've heard a lot of poems, and you learn to tell one of the ones that'll stick out to you, and that's one of the ones that's going to stick out to me for a while. So appreciate that. What inspired it?
Man, well, I became an adult, whatever, had my kids, and just one thing left after another. I lost my kids to CPS and stuff, and got addicted to drugs. And yeah, like I've overdosed a few times, you know what I mean? And I succeeded one time, but they brought me back. But I went to California and went to rehab, man, and that's where it's at. You know what I mean? I'll never forget the oxygen that it took from me, the room.
Well, you know, I appreciate your strength and I appreciate your journey, and like just stay strong, man. That's all I can say.
Already.
Is there anything you want to plug or promote before I get you out of here?
Oh man, no. I mean, I'm just glad that you're doing this, man. For real, Dylan. You get us all, you know, situated up, man. You're doing something good for all of us, man.
Can't wait to have you up for your
props to you, Dylan. Props to you, man.
Yeah, thank you so much. I can't wait to have you up for your second poem, and I would love to have you back on the show too. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anytime.
I'll see you again in a few minutes.
All right. Thank you.
All right, yo. So this next guest, she goes by the name Robin Bowser. She's a poet. She's a rapper. She's a certified Reiki healer. Her Reiki studio is Reiki Soul Studio. That's Reiki Soul Studio. And she's a single mom of 6, which to me is the most impressive accomplishment on this list. I've heard a little bit of what she's got to say, but I can't wait to hear more. So let's get her up here. Unmute yourself. There you go.
I'm really bad at that.
It's all right.
Really bad.
How you doing?
Yeah. How are you? I'm good. I'm doing really good. For sure.
So tell us. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I did this last week too. I forgot to play your flyer. Let me play your flyer real quick.
Cool.
My worst, down in my bits, now my badass bitch, so obsessed. Lives I'm living in times unrest. In this body, my divine we must learn my lessons and I pass my tests. I've done this before, already know what's next. OG soul, getting hotter than the rest. Heart so big, it's beating out my chest. Free sovereignty, my being's undefined. I'm here and now, cause I'm divine. And here and now, cause my body's aligned. And here and now, cause we're running out of
That's crazy.
No, I've listened to that so many times. I know the word. I was spitting it. I was like,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, dude.
It's so catchy. It's my first song.
That's
Actually,
awesome.
I read a lot of poetry and I never really had tried my hand in writing lyrics, and that was my first just lyrics to a beat that I already was listening to.
It's
so.
good. It's good.
Thanks.
Tell us a little bit about that one. Like, what inspired that one?
I mean, I've been in some rough situations and I've been real low, and at that time is when I found myself. You know what I mean? So at my worst, I found my best for sure. And I think people need to know that whenever you hit rock bottom, it's only rock bottom because you're going up. That's pretty much it.
Absolutely. I'm a strong believer in that, and that's where I write most of my poetry from. Is like without the like bad shit and the darkness and the stuff, there wouldn't be any light, and you need that to kind of stand on and build yourself up.
Absolutely. We have to find balance. I think that's like the big thing everybody needs to get. Everybody has dark, everybody has light. It's finding the balance and living amongst everybody equally. That's
Absolutely.
It.
So what got you started writing?
Oh man, what's crazy? It's really crazy you asked me that. My friend Elizabeth, she was a published writer, and she passed away like 6 years ago, maybe 7. That's horrible, but I think it's 6. And it's actually on August 2nd, so in a couple of days. And the month that she passed away, I started writing. I mean, I wrote a little bit when I was a kid, but she really, I think I honestly like gave me the gift, because it was like instantly I was just like flowing. It was crazy. And I never really was into it. And ever since then, man, and I've been through a lot of like spiritual awakening kind of stuff. And a lot of that just really has come into like almost channel writing, like, if that makes any sense.
Just channeling those feelings and letting it leak out onto the page. Yeah, I absolutely understand that. That's like I said, that's part of what I do when I write is, that's what it is for me. It's therapy.
That's what everybody is. It is definitely a way to read a lot.
Before any of this camera stuff, or even before it's on the page, like it's in here, and that's where it matters most, and just getting it out. But so what's the first poem you're gonna do for us tonight?
It's called My 3 a.m.s.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, it's dedicated to all my hooligans, my kids. I love you guys, and I got you. My door is always open to those who know me, my tribe, my beauties, me, my 3 a.m.s, and my 7 roomies. 3 of the 7 honored to have birthed these. Each cut from the universe, my treasures, pristine rubies. My heart, ride or dies, the one and only Goonies. Unfortunately, not long ago, our family was surrounded by loonies, dealing with the shit you only see in the movies. Not PG-13 or like animated toonies, more like mindfuck manipulation tortured by our seducees. The definition of a doozy: failing as a protector, pulled by my motherly duties. I stopped suckling on the devil's boobies. I pulled up my big girl jeans, found ways to new means. Too much time already wasted on egotistical fiends, neglecting our own dreams. It was time to stop this reoccurring theme. We were going to catapult happiness into reality from a daydream. Build up self-esteem, do whatever it takes, no matter how extreme. It was hard, like having no paddles, but heading upstream. I was spinning in circles, trying to balance on a beam. Funny, looking back now, maybe it was easier than it seemed. It was our life, and we needed it to be redeemed. Although the past was never unseen, we started a new routine. Energy shifted, the world started to gleam. The changes were working, able to dismiss our internal defense team. Started living life the way the universe deemed. A path only love could lead. When you're ready to break, having a shoulder to lean. Acceptance, no judgment, a safe place to be free. Where an adult can continue to grow and a teen can be a teen. Where worry and anger is easy to wean. Gratitude and kindness gracefully intervenes. Embracing our primordial genes and getting our conscience clean. Our vibe, lack of belonging, it will be easing. Support and guidance, we will be seizing. A bond so appeasing, as easy as breathing. never changing with seasons and giving each other reasons, someone to believe in. Insecurity now faces deletion. Protection from treason. Foundation is solid, not Venetian. Together we cannot be beaten. That's it.
I like it.
Yay. Thanks.
You want to tell us about it?
Sure. So at 3 a.m.s, my house, a lot of kids. I had my 3 kids, and my sister's 3 kids lived with me for a while, like 10 years. She was with me a lot of it too. And we were the town hangout kind of. So I had like 4 other boys that were always at my house, and they were always up at 3 a.m. battle rapping. And they would wake me up, and I would come downstairs and I'd listen to their little conversations about how they love each other. They got all like homeboyish, and really just, they're my kids, and we've been through a lot together, especially my kids and my nieces and nephews. And I don't know, I just wanted them to know that they would always have my support no matter what. That we are all going to go through things. We're all going to be, screw up. We're all going to make mistakes, but we're always all going to be there for each other, and that's what it's about.
I love that. I love that. Like it's not just like a poem, but it's like a tribute. And yeah, that's amazing. I love that.
Sure.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Is there anything you want to plug or promote before I get you out of here?
Just Reiki Soul, and honestly, energy work. You guys raise your frequency. All you gotta do is meditate, look inward, get yourself going. Do what you want. Don't be programmed and listen to what everybody says.
Yeah,
that's really that's the message I want to get out there. So that's what I want to promote.
Don't be a sheep and fix your energy, people.
We are lions.
Yeah, lions. All right. I'll see you in a few minutes for your next poem.
You're doing an awesome thing here.
Thank you. All right, guys. So this next artist, she goes by the name August Lee. She's a super, super, super talented upcoming poet. I also found her on Facebook in one of the poetry things that I'm in, and she's going to do things a little bit differently tonight. She's going to keep her camera off, but she's still going to share her words with us, and her words are the most important thing here. So let's get her up in here, what she has to say.
Pour your words into me, lies of love and care, words of bitterness and hate, words of judgment and cruelty, words released from unfiltered anger, then follow it with fake apologies. And watch as my porcelain starts to crack at the edges. Watch as I crack and continue to pour your hate into me. Whenever I crumble and break, toss me out and buy a cup made of polycarbonate, for maybe that won't break so easily.
August, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right. That was I really love that piece. I've also listened. I've listened to everyone's pieces multiple times, and I love all of them. Can you tell me a little bit about that one?
Sure. So that was pretty much just about being mistreated and kind of being broken down by it. You kind of surround yourself with negative people and put yourself in negative circumstances for so long that you start to become those circumstances. And that's pretty much what it was pretty much be broken down by the constant negativity that you were surrounding yourself for being surrounded by.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, we're kind of a product of our surroundings. I mean, especially as children, our parents, and then later in life, the stuff that we go through, our coworkers or whatever, just we're a product of our surroundings, and they kind of make us who we are in a way. So I definitely get that.
For sure.
So what got you started writing?
A lot of different things. I was writing since I was 15 was whenever I started some poetry stuff to cope with some mental health problems. But it kind of turned into more of like a creative writing. I'm only just now getting back into poetry. I've only been doing it again for like 2 or 3 weeks. It's been like a long journey between poetry and creative writing that was all just surrounded around coping with mental health. Yeah,
I definitely I get that. I mean, like I was saying to Robin, like it's before anything, it's therapy, and it's a way to cope with what's going on in here, for sure.
For sure.
And I mean, I started off when I was younger. I didn't start off writing poetry. I started off with like stories, and I still write. I'm mostly focused on poetry and stuff now, but I sometimes still dabble in the stories and the fiction and stuff like that. So whatever it is, just use it as the outlet that it is, and just write what comes to you.
Oh, for
That's what it's
sure.
there
It's
for.
definitely gotten me. It's definitely gotten me through a lot.
That's good. So what's the first poem you're going to be doing for us tonight?
The first poem I'm doing is called Psychosis.
All right, I'll get myself out of here.
All right. The trees were tall, the pathway widening into different directions as I ran after him. A ghostly boy who had called himself Will. He needed help, that's what he told me, and then he instructed me to follow him into the woods. It was dark, but I had left my refuge and followed him through the massive trees. I had asked where I was being guided. Whenever the reply came, it was the same phrase: follow me, I need help. I had a sick feeling in my stomach, as if the trees and stars that stood tall above me were watching, their gazes burning into my soul, and yet I still followed, pushing the feeling back and away. The boy needed help. Why wouldn't I help him? And as I ran forward, there was a white light, and suddenly the woods no longer surrounded me. All there was white and gray walls that surrounded me in the first place. I was still sat at the same corner, just now getting my mobility back. I blink, look around, and sighed. I was in the same institution, with the same white walls, and the same baggy clothes that had the scratchy texture. The same bed sat by the window that was nailed shut, and my roommate was not present. Then I heard the voice of a young boy. Follow me, I need help. That's
Wow, that gave me chills, like legitimate. You can't see it on the camera, but I legitimately have goosebumps. And your storytelling, like, is if off the charts. Like I said, I started off with stories. I've studied a lot of storytelling, and your storytelling talent really, really comes through in that one. That was amazing.
Thank you.
That was amazing. Tell us a little bit about it. What inspired it?
Whenever I was 17 years old, I was diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder, which is pretty much a combination of symptoms from schizophrenia and a mood disorder. And that was quite literally just a poem about a psychotic episode I had. I was 17 years old, I was in the hospital, and I was just in the darkest spot of my life, and I completely dissociated from reality pretty much.
Wow. Without going into too much detail, I've had my fair share of psychotic breakdowns, especially when I was younger, very close to that age. I don't think I've ever been able to, I do, leak the pain and whatnot onto the page, but I don't think I've ever been able to like display it that vividly and that clearly, and like you just made me like feel that story like as if it were like my psychotic breakdown. You know what I mean? Like that is amazing.
I'm glad. That's a big part of this.
Do not stop writing. Keep writing. Keep writing your stories. Keep writing poems. And I definitely want to hear more. I want to hear your second poem tonight, and I want to have you back up on the show.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. I'll catch you in a few minutes.
All right, thank you.
Peace. Have a good one. All right, guys. So last but definitely not least, this next artist, he's got bars for days, guys. I'm telling you, he's an upcoming artist. I know him as Caleb, but you can call him Cage C. That's his stage name. He's an upcoming rapper. He promotes himself through TikTok, so make sure y'all go check him out at Cage C790. That's Cage C790. and let's hear what he's got to say, guys. Let's get him up here.
My words fly out chromatic, make you halt and go static, make you stop and go rapid. Turn that shit to a habit so much you can't tap it. I'll be running around you taking laps in. The facts are in, I'm taking sips of gin to motivate the pen to rotate and win the dictate and singe. And obliterate facts back to back like a roundabout, the cold facts around. I'll expose what I'm used to. My alphabet's like building blocks too simple for me to use. Immature literature, I'll capture then reiterate vile amateurs with a file like contestants in my head. What voice do you use? Makes my spit turn vicious, what comes out in victious. Trust choices, not voices, my poisoned alphabet turns your face great. I didn't see what's obscene, you can't escape when it comes to me. I go hard on a beat, you bob your head to me.
Yo, that shit goes hard.
What's up?
I was bobbing my head, yo. Like,
That shit.
go hard on the beat, you bob your head to me. Fuck yeah, dude.
God damn.
So what's up? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing, I guess. Kids having a hard time laying down, so I'd go outside.
No, it's all right. I got you. Like I said, I had a person, artist last week. A whole storm wiped out her hotel, and she had to do it on her phone in the dark with like a flashlight. But we still got the show running, and we're going, man. It's all good. So
Heck yeah.
Start by telling us about that little piece we heard.
That little piece. Well, honestly, I just like to be writing, and I wrote that because I was going through Facebook and my TikToks and all that, and somebody said something about how I was forming things wrong and whatnot. So that was basically just my response to it.
I like that. It's good when you can, like, you know, instead of like just lashing out or doing like being a troll in the comments or whatever, you can like internalize the feeling and, like, you know, put it back on the page and process it in a healthy way. So that's good. I like that.
Yeah, it's a
what got you started writing?
What got me started? Oh, see, I was 13 years old in middle school, and I was just bored writing on a piece of paper, and it sounded good, and I'm like, I wonder if I can do this, you know what I mean? So I just, you know, kept doing it, and I just got better and better and better, and at this point, I'm just trying to make a living out of it because, I don't know, probably my biggest dream ambition is to be able to be on somebody else's phone screen or their television or just on YouTube and make them feel better, kind of like Juice WRLD, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I hear you on that one. He's definitely one of my biggest inspirations. And also, I mean, that's what I'm trying to do with this whole show and everything. You know what I mean? Just give people an outlet, give people an inspiration. You know what I mean? Try to bring some light to like the darkness that's going on. You know?
Damn straight. It's the only thing you can do. It's pretty dark times right now.
Absolutely, man. We just got to use our talents and do what we know how to do to fight through it.
Positively.
So what's the first piece you're doing tonight?
Hopeless Ocean.
All right, I'll drop myself out of here. Let's hear Hopeless Ocean.
Taking life in by the moment, taking every stride to cross an ocean, on a boat going no direction, every thought's an evil contemplation. Who am I? Creative thought, let's concentrate it, recognize the risk in lies and replicate it. What am I? A human? Let's not hesitate it. I'm not basic. Retrace my steps, embrace the past while I regurgitate it, learn from my mistakes. Why? When I can turn my stakes to profit and take toxins like Suboxone, spit venom of precision, you fuck around, you'll find me not so distant. I'm consistent like glue. My fist will stick and imprint fingers that linger and remind you not to fuck around, or I'm using these fucking hands to confine you. Bide time to amass my crimes. Who am I? I stay true to business. You're a witness till you tie your shoes and walk my miles. Get on every aisle and stay a while. When every thought's a little hostile, you don't come closely, grab and poke. Heed the warning or you'll choke. I'm not a joke. I reinvented what it means being broke. Soak up my intention filled with indecision. Re-envision my collection. That's a provision I was given. Start to listen. You understand the voices hit you like a piston and bind you to the mental prison. Now listen, it feels. The card that was given was Stafford inclusion. What Carl will be getting for head-on collision determines the search for a stupid decision. Now listen, it feels the soul of the brief intermission. I paused it, lost the cause. So now the cause set me free is like 1,000,000 to 1. So excuse me if that tree life's green, it's dead to me. I've gotten used to my bed. It's made of thorns with devil's horns and evil scorn. A sordid words born to learn that I can't take, they make me break. What's at stake? A broken fate where I can't wake. The world's fake. The pearly gates are closed. Heaven don't accept the people who neglect the cause of effects to be given me less. I gotta confess, I'm not blessed in the head. These vile demons in a single breath once said that I'm hopeless like the falling rose petals. Head to brown if you let the blood settle. Heart of metal to reflect, direct tail fell into a hole so deep my head's frail. Feet of lead so heavy, each step's a rep that represents I'm passionate, committed to the passages. Imagine this, a brain of laceration, compact with the past, embrace it, to face it, cause I raised it. and I don't phase shit, and shit don't phase me. But if it did, you get brain. See, I'll create a legacy before I let the red stain, before I let the pain drain. I'll leave a grain of sand in eyes that never want to open. When the image is always myself, praying on my knees, hoping whatever these thoughts are, I'm not coping. I refuse to deal with these emotions. I reject them like they're bad toxins. I reflect them like they're bad omens. So when I'm low, I'll be able to reject myself frozen with a dozen cuts to seed poison, dripping to the ground without reason. These emotions are bleeding while the ground is feeding. I'll let the grass grow greener. Fuck emotions, I'll get meaner. Fuck that commotion, I'll wash my hands and watch that dirt fall to rubble. It ain't worth the fucking trouble. So when shit's obscene, you create a scene. You say, fuck it, be mean, so fuck it, come clean. I have 3 hearts on my sleeve with busted veins that leak through the creases. I watch limbs fall into pieces in dreams, the only ones I can remember. You see, I contest words to paper to forget the past, to pass over. But history repeats itself, so I guess I'm stuck with it. With drunk visions, it's like a prison without its walls. You're free, but damn to a static creed that leads to make-believe. So I'll say my piece, just make peace with it. The page will always be the same, written like I'm committed to the game, with eyes that can't handle the strain, a pen that only writes when it rains. It doesn't listen, it's like it's on its own train. Got bubbles over my head that said everything I want to hear, but with so much in it, them thoughts just disappear. And that cost is my biggest fear, to catch a line and wait for them fucking fish to appear. It's like hell to an impatient ear. I guess I'll have to steer my wheels on new gravel and unravel new marbles. Another dream I dream of travel. The fact that in my mind the city civil. Nobody told me pistols aimed at my chest. A place where I could place my feet in the crest and understand where I stand. Till the land moves and my brain begins to crumble. A beautiful city turns to rubble from a severed stitch. Hitched to a conditional pistol, a fistful of grip. Chrome barrel to brain marrow, you wouldn't understand the fissures. A memento of us froze cold, of what we could have been. But with that picture frozen, there's no reason for German stuck in my liver like Hennessy. Problems swell, bust, and leak resin. The residue of tears, the hell I bring you choose. You left bruises on my brains, but I still contain the demons. But when the rope shaking, the chains break, fuck the world, I pretend those thoughts are fake. I'll suspend creative energy from severed ropes and busted chains until the tears reel in and I drop that trigger finger. Ah.
Are you done? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm good.
Holy shit, that is sick, dude. Like,
Thank you.
I mean,
Thank you.
you said so much. It's hard for me to even like ask what inspired like that. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of shit that inspired a lot of that. But like, if you could like pin it down or sum it up, what would you say?
Whenever I was real young, man, it was like 14, 15, I was kicked out and I was in a dumpster, you know what I mean? That's where I was living. So I just lived that hard knock life, and I'm schizophrenic with a multi-personality disorder. So it's a whole lot of everything, really, man. I lived a hard life, you know, so putting that out there like that, it's mostly just about me personally, like how I feel about where I'm going in my direction. It's about, like, if you got a problem with me, or if there's something up with me, or if I have something up with you, man, that I'm just not a person to deal with like that, because I don't play around, you know what I mean? So, and on top of that, the hopeless, why it's called Hopeless Ocean, all right, is because at the end of the day, I'm just a hopeless person trying to make it through.
I feel that, dude. I feel that. That's. I mean, that's your freaking like I've been saying all night, and I've been saying, like I said it last week on the show. That's what this shit is for, man. Like, you gotta use it. You gotta use it as an outlet. You gotta, like, even if, what was that, 6 minutes? Like, even if it's 6 minutes long, 10 minutes long, 20 minutes long, you gotta get it out there. And god damn, dude, like, that was bars for days, bro. Like, it's not even the type of thing where it's like too long, you get sick of listening to it. I was engaged the entire time. Like, every fucking bar had me on a hook. Like, that was, and just to be able to rap that long period without fucking like messing up, taking a breath, like, that wasn't, I mean, obviously, like, you know, you took a breath, but I'm saying, like, without, if I tried to do that for more than 3 minutes, man, I would be all like, I need to take a minute. I need to take a minute, because you were just going, man. I was just like, holy shit, you got more? And then you'd pause for like a second and be like, oh, there's more? Holy shit. You went off, dude. That was sick.
Heck yeah, man.
Before we get you out of here?
About KC790 TikTok, check it out. I do a bunch of acapella. I seen a comment saying asking who my inspirations were. It's just Juice WRLD all the way. It's just Juice WRLD all the way. I do acapellas on TikTok. I'll get a beat to it eventually. I'm getting a studio and all that. So eventually it'll happen.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Go check out his acapellas on TikTok, y'all. That's Cage C790. Let's go. See you in a few minutes, bro.
Peace.
All right, guys. I'm going to get Leanna back up here for do her second poem.
All right, I'm right here.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's the second
All
piece
right.
called?
All right. All right. This is called "Mama, I'm Addicted." Right? It's for my mama. I wrote it whenever I was in California after I came to conclusion with my addictions with my own doings. You know what I mean? In the way I was raised and shit. Like my whole life, my mama never wanted me and shit, so she always gave me to my aunts, my uncles, and my grandmas and shit like that. And whenever I was 14, my ex step grandparents fucking adopted me. So it's been a rough life for me. You know what I mean? So it's for my mama,
Yeah,
man. And
I
I came
got
to
you.
terms with it. You know what I'm saying? Like it I always need my mama, no matter what. No matter how many times she gave me away, I'm always gonna need my mama. I'm
All right.
35 years old and I still cry for my mama to this day. You know what I mean? I
I hear
cry
you.
for her all the time, dude.
I hear you. Trust me.
So,
Trust
all
me.
right, here we go.
I'm mama's boy too.
Yeah, already. So y'all ready?
I'm definitely a mama's boy too.
Amen,
All right,
man. We all need our mamas.
I'll
Look,
get myself out of here. You can spit this for us.
all right, bet. All right, mama. Mama, I'm so addicted, not as you would have ever predicted. You taught my sisters and I how to be the perfect kind of Christian. Mama, I'm addicted. What the hell am I missing? Is it because I never would pay attention and slow down and listen? Mama, I'm addicted. Please make it go away and keep me from slipping. All you ever wanted was your three girls to become successful young women. Mama, I'm still addicted. Not for long soon, you will see me rise and glisten. Truthfully, Mama, it's never been more conflicted. Finally, I'm found, Mama. Thank you for always loving me, even through my addictions. I'm so glad I'm a Christian and no longer addicted. That's it.
I like it. I like it. Like I said, one of my favorite poems. I said this to Robin earlier. Like I love the fact that we're able to like make a tribute to our loved ones
Right.
and make them feel loved the same way we felt loved by them. And like that's there's the side of poetry where it's like you're trying to get the demons and the shit out of your head, but then there's also the side of poetry where it's like you also want to give some love back. It's not all about darkness and hate and anger. You also want to
Well,
give that.
I mean, you got to forgive and forget, man. You got to move on because the past is in the past for a reason. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean you got to fucking hate on them forever, man. You know what I mean? Most troubled youth today, they're growing up with either one or both biological parents. You know what I'm saying? That's why they're troubled. You know what I mean? I didn't realize it until I grew up, man. I used to sit on the knees in my backyard and pray for my real father and pray for him and pray for him. I didn't meet him until I was 24 years old, and then whenever I met him, it was some psychotic fucking sicko shit. You know what I mean? Like, no inbreeding shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I wasn't down with it, but he died and I was on my way to Louisiana. I totaled my car in the process. You know what I'm saying? Broke my dog's fucking ribs and all kinds of shit. You know what I mean? But I needed that closure. You know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
like my poetry, look, I never even wrote a poem for my dad. I probably never will. But my mama, she gave me away my whole life, man. And I still long for her love. You know what I'm saying? I still long for her love. I forgive her. I forget it. Like I can move past it, but I still need that love in my heart. You know what I'm saying? Like
I
it's
feel
piecing me the throat, man.
I feel you. And hey, listen, never say never. It doesn't have to be a love poem, but like at some point, and you never have to show it to anybody, but at some point, if you want to write something about, your dad or other stuff that I'm sure you don't really talk about to anybody else, that's like I said, that's what it's there for. You should just get it out on paper
Right.
and just, you know what I mean? So,
Right.
definitely keep that in
I
mind.
mean, poetry's all about your feelings and your emotions, man. And as long as you're writing from the heart and in your soul, man, you got it, man. And man, it came from my heart and my soul for a long time. I just never had the balls to get it out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've been writing for some years, man. I got books upon books on books written. So that's what's up, though.
Well, I'm
And
anxious to
Dylan,
hear more
props
of
to
it.
you, man. Props to you.
Thank
And
you.
hey, you know what? One more thing. Look, one more thing. I think we should be writing more about mental awareness for real,
Hell yeah.
because we
Hell
all
yeah.
kind of mentally fucked up. You know what I mean? We all mentally fucked up in our
Absolutely.
own fucking messed up ways. So,
That is
amen to that
that
one.
is my main marketing point. with all my poetry. Like it's all mental health.
mental
Post,
awareness, man.
hashtag mental health awareness. Everything.
Yep.
Everything.
Hey, next week, Dylan, I got a good one. Next week, I got a good one for that. Straight
Hell
up.
yeah. Hell yeah. All right. I'll see you again.
All right.
I'll bring you guys all back up at the end to just to say thank you. So I'll catch you again at the end.
All right.
All right. Have a good one. Oh, sorry, I clicked the button on you a little too fast there. My bad. I'm gonna bring Robin back up for her second poem and let's hear what she's got to say, y'all. Hey, what's up? Oh, I got your mic for you. It should be unmuted in a second. Oh, hang on.
I swear I didn't even mute myself.
No, it's okay. I'm sorry. Sometimes it just happens.
Cool.
What's the second poem you're doing for us tonight?
It is Toes in Water.
Okay, cool. I'll drop myself out of here. Let's hear it.
All right. Toes in the water, screaming it needs to be hotter. So I put a pot on the stove to boil some water. And while I wait, my mind goes astray and I start to ponder. The life I know, my path, it was not me who chose it, not me, not my mind or my being. It comes from somewhere way beyond her. I wasn't chosen to come here to lead a horse to water. I was given an axe, in a sense, for distortion of ladders. I was sent into this life to defend and not in slaughter, to be a guiding light, to open minds and show them the big picture, and when they get it, help extend it even farther. Combating toxic influence, years of programming squandered. Also, the collective has a choice to be their own author, based on reality, not lies, that over centuries have been fostered, not by our government, but by those who control it, those who are known as God imposters, the one whose moral compasses have faltered, the sick and demented plotters who pillage, rape, and destroy to become stronger, creating an energy for the mass that's depressed and somber. I can't sit and watch it any longer. My being has seen enough. The world has emotionally jarred her. We are all more capable. We are all smarter. All we have to do is get rid of the energy retarders. Take a stand, lead by example, and get loud. It's our time to conquer. It's up to us to be the change. Our negative ways of thinking needs to be altered. Wake up to a positive life. Who cares what your old thoughts were? Ta-da!
I love the ta-da at the end. That was great. That had such a positive message. And going back to your background in Reiki, I believe that with certain poems, and I mean all poems and all songs, you deliver sort of an energy, and it's possible that they say that music controls your emotions, and I can just feel like the positive energy, like we're 1,000 miles apart on camera, and I can feel the positive energy coming through that poem. So that was amazing.
I really appreciate you saying that. I do.
What
yeah, it means a lot to me, this poem, just because throughout like the last 5 years, there's been a lot of stuff that rabbit holing, going in and like researching and doing things and finding things out, and just realizing that we're not living in the world that we thought we were living in. I don't know, as kids, I think it's sad. And it was this is just kind of calling people out, man. I was sick of it one day and I was over it. So I wanted to write about it. There's a lot of deceit in this world, and but there's so much love, and there's so much good. Again, we go back to that balance,
if we can learn to just open our eyes and just like be, somewhat compassionate with one another, have like a little empathy, maybe. The lack of empathy lately, especially on the internet, is absolutely fucking ridiculous, and I hate it.
I agree. But I also agree that we need to not be so passive with other things. You know what I mean? Like there needs to be
step up and actually
to certain things, and then we need to be nice to the normal people. You know what I mean? Come on. I don't know.
I get that.
She was talking about mental health earlier, and I think that's one of my passions as well. I've dedicated everything that I do, like I said, to my friend who passed away. And I mean, everybody struggles. Everybody has their issues and goes through their trials and tribulations. And until we admit that that's okay, and that we're all going to do it, and who cares, and let them, you know what I mean? Obviously try to help someone out when they get through it, be there for them. You know what I mean? Because we're all going to go through it one day. It's going to happen. And I don't know. I think we just need to get the stigma away from it and just realize that we don't have to judge everybody so much.
Absolutely. I agree. Thank you for sharing your message. Thank you for sharing your poetry. and I can't wait to have you on again if you want to come back on.
Absolutely. I would love to. Like I said,
catch
I love what you're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll catch you again at the end of the show.
All right, cool.
Peace. All right, guys. Yo, the talent is ridiculous tonight. I'm telling you, these people are amazing. And I'm going to bring August back up here for a second poem. Let's keep it rolling.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right. What's the second poem you're doing for tonight?
This one's called Spider Lilies.
Okay. All right. Cool. Let's hear it.
Right. Whenever I pass on, remember me through spider lilies. Remember me through the colors of their bending petals and what these colors represent. Remember me through the white spider lilies, for I have tried to remain positive for the people around me. Remember the new journeys I would go on, whether it was good or bad for myself. Remember me through yellow spider lilies, for our friendship was my top priority. Remember me through the times I've smiled through my own times of darkness, or the times I've offered my shoulder to cry on along with words of advice. Remember me whenever you read of blue spider lilies, for I've been the one to remain calm in the high-stress scenarios. Remember me for my trustworthiness, for I have been keeping your promises and making your secrets safe. Remember me through pink spider lilies, for I have always loved and cherished you more than anything. Remember how much I've placed on the line for you, for that was never something I've done lightly. Remember me through red spider lilies, for that was my final goodbye. And that's it.
Wow, I like that one. That one was good. Like the last one was more. I feel like it made me feel haunted in a different way. This one is definitely kind of haunting in another way, but it's also sort of like got like somewhat of a positive message. You know, it's not just. It's like you're talking about the things you want, the good things that you want to be remembered. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
it kind of reminds me. My mom passed away a few years ago, and I wrote a poem for her called Crickets, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of that, and how sort of just like, you know, this one thing, that the crickets or the lilies, they sort of just represent, you know what I mean, the memories, you know. And again, your like talent for just bringing it into vivid detail and making me really just feel it and see it in my brain, and just like, you know what I mean? It's amazing. It's off the charts. I'm telling you guys, the talent just keeps on coming tonight. It's amazing. You guys are so talented. Is there anything
Thank you.
Anything you want to say before I get you out of here?
Not that I can think of.
All right. Well, I'll catch you again at the end of the show. Have a good one.
You too.
All right. All right, guys. We're rolling it out. Let me roll out the red carpet one more time for my homeboy Caleb, or Cage C, as we like to call him here in the circle. Let's go. Oh, there we go.
What's poppin'?
How you doing?
I'm doing. I sure am.
Ready for some
trying not to run into it.
What's this one called?
Yeah, this one, To Myself.
To Myself. All right, let's hear it.
This is the first time I've done this out loud, so I'm probably gonna mess it up. Say it to my face. Tell me what I'm worth. Tell me to my face how much of this empty space I waste. Tell me that I'm obviously precarious. Yell it at me like I'm deaf. Make sure I can hear it. I don't want to miss it. Make sure the words fly through the air and collide into my chest like a bullet. Make sure it kills me again. So when I get up, my new life wakes up sober. Hope to God I wake up forgetting what I have to get over. What I have to remember is to tally up the reminders. Take notes and post it on my wall. Written everywhere in little squares. I lost it all. Don't double back. Don't you see something fall? You believe in yourself. Don't let nobody bring you down. You stay put and set yourself above all else. Be selfless when you need to be. Be selfish when you have to be. Take every lesson like school is back in session and create a collection of imaginations. Write them down and they can surpass anyone's limitations. And I sign this to the old you. Ram these thoughts straight through your brain. Avoid the rain, erase the pain, build railroads to your name. Build each wooden slab engraved with your past, then move past it. Until you're too weak to build past the last hill and blow your gasket. Stretch words out like they're elastic and show the world you have skills to bask in. I sign this to the new you. Who am I to prove what I'm worth compared to the picture I drew in my head? But what's the truth in dreams if they never come true? So say it to my face. Tell me what I'm worth. Yell it at me like I'm deaf. Make sure I can hear it. I don't want to miss it. Make sure the words hit like a bullet and collide with my chest. Don't think of me less if I drop. That's just a test. I'll get up because most of these bullets are just pests and I don't fall like the rest. I don't draw up images to create words and herds. I draw curves to make letters to read when I need something to relieve what's built up inside of me. Like a message in a bottle, I'll send this out to see it. Once you read it again, let others see this is what you're meant to be. Let others see this is just a dream. Let others see you can be what you set out to be. Be a fiend and write words that can be played on the television screen and be obscene if you need to be. I sign last to the current view of the most recent you. I'll say it to your face. You're worthless if you don't put out. You're worthless if you don't write like every thought and given doubt. You'll pace less if you drown in the alphabet and create words worth diamonds. Lose sight of the stars and dilate astronomical bars. Keep dreams far enough away so they don't fade. Work towards it, but don't ever reach it. Just dream bigger and forget your whole figures. Forget the times you wanted to slam that trigger, black out from the liquor, and be damned forever to see the cup is half empty. The last 50 and the glass half filled with whiskey. But I'll forget the drink, take a second to blink and think you're already at the bottom. You can't sink. Swim to the top and write like you're trying to make others shrink. Don't let others tell you what you're worth because you're already worthless. So when you rise up, let others judge your worth then. Let others follow your pen. When you jot down words like you're trying to make amends for sins, when you're trying to rake the leaves from your memory tree, always remember to tally up the reminders. Keep taking notes and post it on your wall. Keep writing everywhere on little squares when everything seems unfair. And when they say it to your face how much of the empty space you waste, tell them to take your place.
Damn, bro. Those are bars, but that one was a little darker, a little deeper. I felt that one a little more. Right here, man. That shit hit me. I could feel the emotion. What inspired that piece?
Well, really, I wrote that when I was 13. So
yeah.
It's mostly just a message to me, and I read it every day to keep myself confident and to keep myself out of the blues. And so I don't know, being able to perform it was strange. That was the first time I've said it out loud. I've never really performed it. I don't really have a lot to say about it. I didn't think it would affect me as much as it did reading it out loud.
You know what? It said enough by itself, man. It said enough by itself. Absolutely. And I know how hard it is to put something out there, especially something that you just wrote or something that you wrote a long time ago or something that you haven't even like you know what I mean? You haven't even voiced to anybody else yet. You know what I mean? I know how hard it is to put out something that you've been sitting on that you're not sure about, and it takes mad balls, it takes mad confidence, man. I appreciate you sharing it with us.
Thank you. I appreciate what you're doing here. I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed this experience was really wholesome.
Absolutely, man. I can't wait to do it again. I'd love to have you back on.
Awesome. I'd be glad to be back on.
Hell yeah. All right, man. I'll catch you at the end of the show. Peace out. All right, guys. So y'all already know what it is. I'm feeling the energy. I'm feeling pumped. I was feeling Caleb's bars, and I think I'm going to spit some of my own before we wrap up here tonight. So let's go. This one is called Brick Walls and Pitfalls. I try to pick up the pen and pretend I'm an artist, but I just stick to the trend of not getting started. This brick wall in my head has become a new constant. I feel sick I'm in bed using these meds trying to find a new process, because trying to process my losses and all this constant nonsense is making me feel like my conscience is lost in the darkness. The monsters and skeletons deep in my closet spin me in circles. They're making me nauseous. I'm at war with my demons. They're taking me hostage. They torture my feelings. They're making me watch it. My terror attacks and my heart is the target. And now suddenly I am back where I started, back in a bender till I fall on the carpet, back in the battlefield, putting shots back for my dearly departed. And during the day, you can't look at my face and tell that I'm empty and hollow. But look at the page and look at the bottle, because I always say that I'll try tomorrow. So the booze was erased and the words they were swallowed. Then puked on the ground. I am face down while I lay here and drown in my sorrow. And I don't know why every verse that I write starts with me trying to survive in my mind and ends with me crying, passing out, puking, or dying. I've got everyone gasping and sighing like, why can't you write something happy? Write about goals that you have and write about making them happen. Write us some scenes where you're laughing. Why do you always fall back into this gloom that you say that you're trapped in? I told them I'm glued to the blackness, like a symbiote suit. We're attracted. I'm all for the doom. It's fantastic, but you should marvel the way that I mask it in public like Superman's glasses, because I'm the comic relief for the masses. But my origin story is tragic, because I was told to always hold back and hold on to the rage and the sadness. I was told that I had to be passive, so when I get mad, it's making my ego get massive. I'm turning green brick free from the evil and smashing the walls I put up in my head till they're ashes. Now I can finally master this passion. Cause see, this is a scene you were asking to see. This is a scene where I'm laughing. This is a scene that'll be the most graphic. No treaty of peace, you can see me almost ready to snap, and you'll tweak when you see me about to go savage on the demons and doubters and naggers. Cause that's how I see my way out of the deep shadow of doubt from my past when it falls on me like a shrouded. My world gets darker than I imagine. It would be while everything around me blackens. And it feels like I walk down a path that's surrounded by trees with the reaper peeks at me from between the saplings. But there ain't no route around it. That's the street I stand my ground in. It's the only place my feet feel grounded. What I mean is that being proud to be myself is the only way I can be able to be get through this hell and leave my enemies all astounded. I'm fucking up more than the artist, guys. It's been a long night. Let me bring them back up here just to say thank you to y'all.
That shit was so sick, bro.
I appreciate it, y'all. You guys
Awesome.
were fucking amazing.
You did awesome.
I enjoyed being on here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The talent
Everybody was awesome. That shit was great. That was so good. Everybody did a good job.
I love listening to you guys.
Before we go, I just want to thank all of you. I want to thank my technical producer, Brandon. I want to thank everybody who shared and liked and commented and did anything supportive on my social media, on my YouTube or anything. You guys are amazing. I couldn't do it without you. Thank you all so much. Catch us again next time, next Thursday at 9 p.m. I'm going to have it roll across the bottom of the screen right here so y'all can see. Next Thursday, 9 p.m. Catch us right here. We'll do the same thing, a new batch of artists. Maybe you'll catch some familiar faces. Maybe you'll see some new ones. Who knows? We'll catch us again next time, y'all. Have a good one. Peace.
Later.
Thanks.
Bye.